Blessed Ascension, my friends. Ascension gives us one of the clearest pictures of what Jesus thinks our life together is for. Worshiping, witnessing, and waiting for the Spirit. In Luke 24, the risen Jesus reminds his friends that everything written about him in the law of Moses, the prophets, and the Psalms is always heading here. The Messiah would suffer, rise on the third day, and then repentance and forgiveness of sins is to be proclaimed to all nations. It's Jesus' own summary of the gospel. In fact, Reverend Mark Tranvit calls it Luke's version of John 3:16. It's not a new program bolted on at the end, it's the fulfillment of the whole story. Jesus goes on to say, you are witnesses of these things. Not sales reps, not brand ambassadors, witnesses. People who have seen something, received mercy themselves, and now tell the truth about it. The very ones he calls witnesses are the same people who just failed him. Yet the last image they see of Jesus is not a finger pointing, but hands lifted in blessing, still marked by wounds. That's what sends them, and it's what shapes everyday ethical evangelism. We bear witness as forgiven people under a blessing, not on a guilt trip. But Luke is clear that they aren't sent out on enthusiasm alone. See, I am sending upon you what my Father promised. So stay here in the city until you have been clothed with power from on high. In other words, we can't be the church without God's power to be witnesses. The same Spirit who anointed Jesus to proclaim good news to the poor will now clothe his people so their witness isn't just words, but a Spirit-charged life. For us here at Emissaries of Renewal, Ascension clearly names our lane. Jesus is exalted, Lord and Messiah, not distant, but reigning with human scars and wounds at the heart of God. He entrusts to his church a message of repentance and forgiveness for all nations, beginning where we are. He calls us witnesses, people who name what his cross and resurrection have done in our lives, and who practice everyday non-transactional evangelism, shaped by his blessed hands. And he insists that all of this flows from the Spirit's power, not our hustle to get butts and seats. So on Ascension, we're invited to do what the first disciples did. Worship the risen, ascended Jesus. Return to our Jerusalems with great joy, and wait in prayerful openness for the Spirit to clothe us, so that when we speak and live, our lives quietly say, we are witnesses of these things.